How's it going, folks? There's a good amount of MMO launches, beta tests, and more this month, and I'm here to recap what they are, when they arrive, and how much it takes to get in. I'm Adrian, welcome to the channel, let's begin. First up on September the 4th is the beginning of the closed beta test for upcoming free-to-play MMORPG Eternal Magic. Eternal Magic from the outside looks like your typical run-of-the-mill classic theme park fantasy MMORPG, and that's because most of what the game has shown off so far is pretty much just that. There are a few interesting features perhaps. For example, while the game caters to both PvE and PvP, it's the player versus player modes that are receiving a lot of the marketing push. This MMO will feature 80-player guild wars, open-world PKing in certain zones, and a MOBA mode which plays exactly like a match of Dota or League of Legends, and that's possible because Eternal Magic does have a click-to-move system built in. There will be no region blocks for this one. It's made in Asia, and this version of the game is being published in Eastern Europe with servers available for players in North America and Europe at launch. So how do you get into the closed beta test for Eternal Magic? For guaranteed access on the 4th of September, you'll need to pick up a gift pack from the official website, and the cheapest one costs $15 US. On the 10th of September, PlayStation 4 players in North America can get their hands on Caravan Stories, a free-to-play anime-inspired MMORPG that's pretty well received in Japan where the game was made. Caravan Stories puts the players in the vast world of IR, and you must recruit heroes, tame monster companions, and beat back the threat that's endangering this world. To do this, you'll engage in real-time party-based combat, and putting together the ideal party composition consisting of your recruited NPCs and pets will be key to deciding the outcome of PvE battles, dungeons, and raids. You'll also need to make sure that your caravan is well stocked and decorated to your liking, because that's the key to all of this. Your caravan serves as your mobile home base, and it does travel with you wherever you go, in addition to letting you make crafting stations, armaments for defenses, and more. Caravan Stories is a unique MMORPG that's exclusive to the PlayStation 4, and from what I hear, it has plenty of JRPG influences when it comes to the narrative and characters. If you want to jump into Caravan Stories on the 10th, simply look it up on the PSN store on launch day, and again, it's free to play. For players outside of Asia and North America, there's no news on whether or not the game is coming your way, but I will update you if there is good news. September 17th will mark the beginning of Guild Wars 2's latest living world story, the ICEBROOD saga. Players will start their journeys toward the far north of Tyria with the prologue Bound by Blood, which will see us visit the Char homelands with places like Grothmore Valley. Not a whole lot has been revealed about what will happen during the prologue, of course, and the things that we know of, like the new masteries, world bosses, and monsters, will make appearances in episodes 1 and 2 of the Living World Saga, which will arrive at a much later date. All players who own 2017's Path of Fire expansion will get immediate access to the prologue on the 17th, and if you don't have Path of Fire and are looking to jump into Guild Wars 2 for the upcoming adventure, hey, you can grab the expansion using my referral link down below, courtesy of Guild Wars 2. I'm an official partner, and doing so would support the channel. On September 19th, survival MMO Population Zero will be having its closed beta test phase. Population Zero puts hundreds of players on the newly discovered planet Kepler, and your job is to colonize it if you can. The game features an action combat system, in-depth crafting and building, research, and a class progression system with perks that many RPG players will be familiar with. Unlike other survival MMOs out there, this one will be heavily narrative-driven, with factions that you can join. The wildlife is organic and will fight back, while the environment in general reacts to the collective behavior of the players, made possible thanks to the complex algorithms in place. It sounds like an ambitious MMO, and right now there are many comparisons to games like No Man's Sky or Subnautica, either due to how the game looks or based on the systems it has. So we shall wait and see how this one stands out from the crowd within this saturated survival genre space. How do you get into the Population Zero CBT? Firstly, you can sign up for an account on the website, and at random you may be selected to get in. Keep an eye out for social media raffles and other giveaways too. For a guaranteed spot in the closed beta, players can purchase Founders Packs, with the cheapest one being at $10 US for guaranteed closed beta test access, plus future invites to all further tests until launch. Also launching on September 19th is PlanetSide Arena, which will officially enter Steam's early access. Anyone who's played PlanetSide 1 and 2 will know that the franchise is one of the OGs for massive MMO-scale FPS battles involving land, sea, and air. and Arena is probably going to be the modern, smaller cousin, if you will. At the early access launch, the game will have a limited amount of modes, but includes the Battle Royale and Squad modes. Unfortunately, players will have to wait until Q2 of 2020 next year for the legendary Massive Clash mode, and that is where the real fun is at. The Battle Royale stuff has been done to death already, so hopefully Daybreak will rethink their roadmap and try to push Massive Clashes out much sooner. Anyway, if you want to jump into the early access launch for PlanetSide Arena, wishlist the game via the Steam store page, and when it becomes available, you can pick up the standard pack for $20 and the price will vary, of course, thanks to Steam's regional pricing. September 27th is the official launch date for ASTELLIA, a Korean MMORPG brought to the West by Baradhor and EA. ASTELLIA is another one of the new wave of Asian MMORPGs that are doing the buy-to-play method, which seems to be making some sort of a comeback. ASTELLIA is a theme park MMO in which players will acquire Astels, these mini companions that you can summon to fight alongside you as they earn XP and level up, and they do have unique abilities and combos to complement the player character's class. While there are dungeons and even a tri-faction RVR PvP mode, there are no traditional raids in ASTELLIA, nor battleground PvP for that matter, and there is the dreaded dungeon ticket system here. The one thing the developers promise, however, is that the Western version will be free of the pay-to-win systems that exist in the East, and will let players play to win instead. That means no cash shop shenanigans, and interestingly, the developers are even undoing many of the Asian MMO tropes that the game launched with in Korea, such as gender locking of classes. To get in ASTELLIA, you have 3 pre-order packs available right now until launch, and the cheapest one comes in at $40. However, if you want to get a 7-day head start and begin playing on the 20th of September, you'll need to grab the legendary package, which costs $100. There were some concerns about this due to legendary package owners having a clear advantage in terms of being given plenty of time to level and gear with the head start, which would put them way ahead of the curve for the Avalon RVR PvP mode. The good news here is that the developers have seen that coming and are putting certain restrictions in place to ensure that when Avalon does go live, folks can catch up and be competitive. So everyone that gets in with a head start, you can do most things at level cap, but some content will be restricted for a period of time until the general player population is able to catch up. On the very last day of September, we have, of course, the launch of ARCHEAGE Unchained. Unchained is the new buy-to-play version of the Sandpark Korean MMORPG that in recent times hasn't had the best of reputations when it comes to claims of pay-to-win, and this is one way that Tryon, Gamigo, and XL Games are looking to fix that. Unchained will mirror the legacy servers in terms of gameplay and content, with the biggest difference being the monetization. For example, there's no Apex, no patron status, no loot boxes, no buying tech certificates for housing, no buying labor points, and there's a restriction on the number of alt accounts a player can have. All of this sounds good on paper, but there's a long way to go before we actually see the results of this and whether or not the developers keep their word with promise of no pay to win. To get in Unchained, players will need to buy one of 3 packages available right now, with the cheapest coming in at $26. All packages will allow for early character creation and name reservation, which you should make use of if you want to spend more time in game and less time in the queue on launch day. You can expect 1 to 2 servers for both North America and Europe at launch. Also important to note, in a recent stream, the developers have confirmed that ARCHEAGE Unchained will be coming to Steam, and the global client will be the 64-bit version. And finally, while unconfirmed and still up in the air, there is a very high possibility that the Russian version of Lost Ark could release its closed beta at the end of September or early October. Lost Ark is a hugely popular ARPG-style MMO that's been hyped up significantly since its Korean debut. And for us outside of Korea, it's a real hassle to try and get into it to play because you need a Korean phone number for verification, a VPN, and the English patch preferably for the optimum gaming experience. And even after doing all of that, one wrong move here or there could see you lose your account forever, which you might have to pay for. So you can see why most of us are just sitting back waiting for news about an NA or EU release. Therefore, the Russian version is the next best thing if you cannot wait. How can you join the Russian CBT? To get into Lost Ark RU, you'll need a mail.ru account and buy one of 3 pre-order packs available. All 3 will grant access to the CBT, and the cheapest one comes in at around 15 USD. After that, you'll most likely need a VPN to access the game if information in the Lost Ark community Reddit is to be believed, and it is there too where you'll find all kinds of useful tips and information about how to get started, how to download, how to get VPN, and all that good stuff. So I will link that down below, and you should check it out when CBT arrives. And that's it, folks. That's most of the confirmed MMOs that are launching full versions, closed betas, and dropping brand new content this month. If I've missed any, it's purely unintentional, and do let us know in the comments what else is coming our way for September 2019. For MMOs that announce new stuff after this video comes out, I'll be sure to let you guys know what they are and when they're coming in my usual weekend MMO news drop videos. Anyway, if you found the video helpful, hey, give it a thumbs up and do share it around. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon to get notified on all my latest uploads. You can also optionally support me on Patreon for some exclusive content and behind the scenes stuff. Links to that down below. Once again, I'm Adrian, and I thank you for watching.